Hey guys, welcome to Punky's World. I was just watching a case of Madison Russo. She faked cancer. Those cases irritate me so much. Her case in particular, because it was so obvious to any idiot watching. Yeah, that did. Oh, yeah, it did. So many medical people pointed out her obvious mistakes in what she was doing. She had pictures of herself, through the nasal gastric tube, which wasn't even in her nose. It was just taped to the side. And here's the big one. Her port was going in the wrong direction. The port goes horizontally like this, not straight up and down like this. It goes like this. I have my scars from my port. I don't think. Well, maybe I can. Just to show you. Okay, that's my scar right there. Oops. Alright. Below that, I have scars from where it was activated a jillion times. The tape on it was just wrong. And I remember looking at it as I'm watching the things about her faking it. And why is there tape just piled on it like that? First of all, you wouldn't cover it at all unless it was activated, which it was not at that time. You don't have to cover it. Unless she's saying that she had a different kind of port, an external port. Okay, good. It actually worked. That's for the meeting for Tuesday. Yeah, instead of a porticaf, if she had a, a port that came out and stayed out, that would be one thing. Again, what was the point of the nasal gastric tube? The other thing that you'll notice in her videos and her pictures, first of all, she's racing, she's playing golf, she's hiking, she's doing all sorts of things that you couldn't do if you were on chemo. First of all, her muscularity should have set off red flags. Because you won't have that kind of muscularity. I'm sorry. Take it from someone who's been through cancer twice. The first time, I was at 98 pounds. And they were just feeding anything into me they could feed into me that I could hold down, just to get some weight on me to endure the chemotherapy. As far as losing her hair, biotin helping, one lady said it best. Biotin does strengthen hair, but it's not going to help you when the cells that make hair are being killed, which is true. It also helps to, it does help to some degree, but I still take medication that makes my hair fall out. Imurant. It's like a chemotherapy drug. It's an oral treatment. It is made to suppress my immune system to keep me from getting a liver transplant. And all of that is well documented, right? There. A lot of that is my documentation. Anyway, so don't doubt anything I'm telling you, because I can show it to you in black and white. And a lot of it, what's here, by the way, is also all of my chemo. Yep. A report from just about every treatment I had, including the ones that were, well, the one that was canceled because I had an infection, my hospital stays. It's all there. Now, okay. She said pancreatic cancer spread to her blood and caused leukemia. That doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't cause another cancer. That should have been another red flag. It just doesn't work that way. Then all of a sudden she's got this huge tumor wrapped around her spine. If that were the case, she couldn't move. Trust me, because I had tumors around my hypothalamus. I had tumors in all of the lymph nodes in my lungs, the lymph nodes around my heart, the lymph nodes around my digestive system, my armpits, my throat. In fact, it was so big around my lymph nodes in my neck that it was around my trachea and my carotid artery. I could have died in surgery, but this doctor, even though he was an idiot, was smart enough not to mess with my carotid artery and cause me to bleed to death. He did, however, peel it off of my trachea so that I could breathe. Because I, unlike this young lady, had stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. It was not fun. It was not pretty. In fact, I distinctly remember sitting in front of my mother while she was combing my hair out as it was falling out when Columbine came on the television. That is a memory that will never leave me. I was sitting there and I remember looking down, seeing all this hair on the hardwood floor and my mother combing, and the TV was to the left of me, and we were both looking at it, and all of a sudden news special report comes on and there are kids screaming running out of a school, and it was Columbine. And that pile of hair on the floor didn't seem to matter so much at that moment. My mother also told me that I probably shouldn't bathe or shower without her or dad in the house because it was going to be traumatic. And it was traumatic. I remember sitting in the tub just crying. This kid has absolutely no idea what that's like. She puts a picture of a bunch of hair in a sink. Yeah, clearly cut hair. She didn't lose her eyelashes, didn't lose her eyebrows. I had none. And I'm going to tell you this, I didn't have hair somewhere a little more discreet either. None. Didn't have to shave my legs. So excuse me. And I think in one picture she was wearing a mask. I'm sorry, when you're going through chemo and you go out in public, wear a damn mask. I did, and I know a lot of other people who did. And then she talks about this little girl that actually died of cancer. Do you know what it's like? And the answer is no, you don't. To be fighting for your life and have one of your cancer buddies succumb to the disease. I do. I hid in a corner and sobbed. I loved that woman. We battled together. And, do you know what it's like to know that because of the changes to your period from your treatment, and then, the autoimmune disease that your treatment triggered, that you will never be a mother? I do. Even though it wasn't directly caused by the chemo, they believe the chemo triggered the autoimmune disease. Meaning, when something is triggered, it means it's there, but it hasn't come up, it hasn't done anything. You just have you're ready to get it if something were to trigger it. Same thing with smoking and cancer. Your body is ready to get that cancer, and you smoke, and that may trigger the cancer your body was already ready to get. Well, the chemo triggered an autoimmune disease that my body was already ready to get. It just needed some kind of trigger. You know, I loved my future, non-existent now, children enough to choose not to have them because the medication that I need to treat the autoimmune disease would have, or very likely could have, caused serious effects to them. And I wasn't willing to do that to someone I loved even though I had never met, if that makes sense. You know what that is. Yep. So, in the next video, I am going to unbox the Amazon order. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for letting me spew. Those cases just make me so angry as someone with the scars to prove what they went through. You know what I'm saying? Whoops, this way. It's just annoying. And having gone through it a second time, which I also have the scars to prove. That's called DFSP, dermatofibrosarcoma protuberans, which was triggered by consistent injury, because I had a gene translocation, which means two genes, I believe the ones that make collagen and elastin, switched. I know one of them made collagen. Tried to switch jobs, and genes can't do that. Thus you grow a tumor. So, yeah, 30 painful surgeries later, I'm finding out, yay, I didn't need radiation. But anyway. And another red flag should have been the fact that she said it was on the tail of her pancreas, and yet they couldn't remove it. That would be easy to remove, but what do I know? I only studied biology and got an A+. Anyway. I also know that back in the 60s, they managed to clamp the head of my father's pancreas back on after a car accident. So, have the paperwork to prove that too, right there. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you for the unboxing. Bye, guys. Mwah.